So coming down to the P&L account here, the salary. So the first item is salary. Will go by the given order only here. That will be easier. So salary. So is there any adjustment? Yes, there is an adjustment here. So out of the salary here, out of the salary 25,000 pertains to the PF contribution by the pertains to PF, his contribution to PF. So let us read it like this: pertains to his contribution to PF, which was deposited after the due date. So that means his contribution means this is employer's contribution here, and then employee's contribution of rupees 25,000. That means that is again the PF was also contributed after the due date. So this is very important. Since it is paid after the due date, this amount of PF contribution, whatever that was to be deposited by the employer and also on behalf of the employees, should be considered as a income to the employer. So therefore it has to be removed from the amount of salary which is included here. So therefore let us take it as employer's contribution and employee's contribution which is paid after the due date. So both 25,000 is taken here. That is employers and employees contribution is taken separately. And then the next item is donation to the Prime Minister's Relief Fund, 1 lakh rupees. So donation to Prime Minister's Relief Fund cannot be taken as a business expenditure because this comes under deductions after chips under chapter 6A or under section 80. So therefore donation cannot be directly taken as an expenditure. So therefore this has to be eliminated from the P&L account here. So therefore we are adding back here to the profits, because once it is debited here it will reduce the net profit. So therefore it has to be added back. So donation to Prime Minister's Relief Fund rupees 1 lakh. And then provision for bad debts. The actual bad debts should have been given here. So here it is given as provision for bad debts. So in the absence of actual bad debts, the provision, there is no allowance for the provisions to be created for anything. So therefore the provisions and reserves are to be remitted. So here provision for bad debt is to be added back to the profit here. That is rupees 50,000. And then we have family planning expenditure on employees. Any family planning expenditure which is incurred by the employer on employees is not allowed since he is an individual here. So because we are not going to compute for company, in case of company computation this expenditure is allowed, but here for an individual proprietor or a business activity, the employee's family planning expenditure is not allowed. So again this 20,000 is added back here. And then we have depreciation, and to depreciation we have a depreciation allowable is 40,000 as per Income Tax Act. So here he has charged depreciation less here. He could have taken 10,000 rupees more. So that means allowable means after calculations to this particular assessee as per Income Tax Act, 40,000 could have been allowed, but he has taken less here, 30,000. So that means his calculation might be wrong. So therefore another 10,000 can be allowed. So this will be taken when we go to undercharging here. So this comes under a deductible item, because the expenses, 3 items are to be deducted when we come to deductions here. So this is to be added, this is to be deducted. That is, we show it as less. So what are to be deducted here is admissible expenses which are not debited to P&L account. Those admissible expenses which are not debited in the P&L account. So this is an admissible expenditure which is under debited here. So that means you can take it as 40,000 minus 30,000 is as good as not debited in the P&L account. So therefore 40,000 minus 30,000, that comes to 10,000, is under debited in the P&L account. So therefore it is an admissible expenditure which is taken under deductions here or under less here. And the another item is non-business and non-taxable incomes. Non-business means those incomes which are not at all business incomes. So that is to be removed from the given the P&L account here. So therefore that is to be deducted or it is to be eliminated. Non-business incomes, we can say, for example, maybe income from house property, or income from other sources, or say income from say any other source which is taken under the income of a business, maybe out of his lack of knowledge, whatever. So that should be eliminated by deduction. So that is non-business income. And likewise non-taxable incomes. Non-taxable income, suppose if the non-taxable incomes are created in the P&L account, that is to be deducted. So non-taxable incomes, for example, if maybe say interest received on post office savings bank account, okay, or from say share of say profits received from HUF, something like this. So if there is a non-taxable income, in that case it has to be removed from the P&L account. So that is the second item to be removed. And the third item is the opposite of this is pertaining to the valuation of stock. So if it is the valuation of undervaluation of opening stock, it has to be deducted, because undervaluation of the opening stock will reduce the profit. Likewise, the overvaluation of closing stock will also the undervaluation of opening stock will increase the profit, and overvaluation of closing stock will also increase the profit. So therefore, so any profit which is not a business, actually a business profit, from it is the profit which has arisen out of the undervaluation or overvaluation of opening or closing stock should be adjusted. So in order to adjust that, the undervaluation of opening stock and overvaluation of closing stock is to be deducted here. So this is how the deductions are to be made. Okay, let us come back here. The depreciation. So therefore depreciation taken here is this under charging of depreciation is 40,000 minus 30,000, 10,000. And then the next item is given here is income tax. See, what we are doing here is we are calculating the income from business, and that's the taxable income and how much tax is to be paid. So therefore we cannot take the income tax as one of the expenses here. So therefore it is to be eliminated. Okay, this is what is given. So we have considered all the adjustments. Now let us coming back here. So this will be the total of this is 3,20,000. So adding to the given net profit as per the P&L account, that is it comes to 4,70,000. And then we have only one deduction here, that is rupees 10,000. So deducting 10,000 here, it comes to 14,60,000. This is called as the taxable business income. This is taxable business income. So this is how it is to be treated. Okay, let us take another problem here. So this is again a P&L account is given pertaining to an SEC. Okay, let us look into the given details. Say here on the trading account, opening stock, purchases, carriage, wages, manufacturing expenditure, gross profit. And then on the other side we have sales, and then the gross profit is carried down here by gross profit brought down 24,20,200. So this is carried, this is brought down here. And then we have by rent from house property. On the credit side we have rent from house property, which this you can take it as an example of say non-business income, because rent from house property is to be computed under income from house property. So therefore this is to be eliminated. And then dividend received, again if it is a dividend received from an Indian company, it is an exempted income. So therefore this is to be eliminated. It comes under non-taxable incomes. And then by bad debts recovered. So bad debts recovered is 15,000. If this bad debts recovered is earlier, that is in the previous years, if the bad debts were allowed as a deduction, then this cannot be eliminated. Suppose if the bad debts were not allowed in the previous years, it has to be eliminated. And then by interest on debentures. Interest on debentures should be taken under income from other sources. So therefore this cannot be taken here. And then by miscellaneous expenses can be allowed as a business income. And then by gifts from relatives, again this is an item which comes under income from other sources. So therefore this is to be eliminated. So like this, these are the incomes which are shown on the credit side of the P&L account. Now coming to the debit side of the P&L account, we have salaries, interest on capital, drawings, rent and taxes, donation, repairs, depreciation, general expenses, legal charges, income tax, appeal expenses, audit fees, and then we have life insurance premium paid, and then fire insurance, then college fees of the daughter, and then traveling expenses, and the net profit is 16 lakh rupees here. Now let's go to the given adjustments. The adjustments are given like this. Stocks are valued at 10% below the cost. Stocks are valued at below the 10% below the cost. So here this is given as stocks. That means both the opening stock and as well as the closing stock. That is the meaning here. Both opening and closing stocks are valued at 10% below the cost. So below the cost means this is undervalued. Both are undervalued. Okay, let us look into that, what is to be done. And then the depreciation allowable is 54,000. Let us look at the depreciation. Okay, we have an adjustment with regard to stock here, stocks. So that is both opening stock and as well as closing stock. Opening stock and closing stock. Closing stock is 1,35,000. Closing stock is 1,35,000 here.